Okay. And hello, everyone. And first, hello to Finez, who is first on the scene. So hey, back at you. So tonight I'm going to be working on my Frogger game, and this is part 2 of the programming thing. Before I begin, I do want to give a shout out to my channel members, Kevin, Paul, and joining them is Yan. So thank you so much for being a member and supporting the channel directly. If you'd like to do that, you can join down below. So let me show you what I have so far. So let's go over to our main screen. Here's the code. There's Mr. Yeats. And I'm going to run my game. And basically, I've got my frog. I've got some cars. And if you've ever played this game, you should know that the cars will kill you if you touch them. So let's go ahead and touch a car. Boom. And so all I have so far is if I do touch something like that, it will jump down to the bottom. Okay, so that's the starting point. So just to prove that it works. So hello to Kevin, hello to Divya, and everybody else that is joining. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as I can, but this is not necessarily a tutorial. It's more just me coding. I will talk a little bit about what I'm doing. If you've seen some of my other tutorials, it should be pretty straightforward. Now, I am using classes and objects in this tutorial, which I don't normally use because it's hard for my students who are mostly beginners, but this does make the game very, very easier to program, I should say. Mr. Eats, no problem. I know people have lives. So just real quick, I'm using the turtle module. I'm also using the math module at this point. And as you can see, I had a window. It was 600 by 800 pixels. May need to change that later. I've so far got 3 shapes registered: frog, car left, and car right. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm using the turtle module to render my graphics. And hello, Anil, and hello to Gaming Theories and Unboxings. Hey. I have a sprite class that I created, and each sprite has an X, a Y, a width, a height, and an image associated with it. So the frog has the frog, car left has car left, etc., etc. And I'm using a collision detection method called axis aligned bounding box. I do have a video available that explains this. Right now it's set to members only, but in, 5-6 days it'll be set so everybody can see that. So check that out later when you get a chance. And then I have a player class, which is a child of the sprite class. And I also have a car class, which is also a child of the car class. So yeah, it's a pretty basic game. I've got up, down, left, and right. And you can see here I'm rendering things, I'm updating objects, and checking for collisions. So I'll clean up the code a little bit later, but right now I'm just trying to get the game working. So the stuff that I've done so far, let's look at that again, is stuff that I've done before. I know it's pretty straightforward. I'm just, collisions and avoiding collisions. But the next part, I don't know if you've ever played this game. It's a classic. There are like modern versions of it, of course. And Anil, I've already said hello, but hello again. And just so everybody knows, my name is not Ed. My name is Christian. My moniker is Tokyo EdTech, so educational technology. I'm an American, but I do live in Tokyo. So if you take a look at the game, so the bottom half of the screen, you have cars, and the frog has to get past the cars without getting run over. And you can see there is a time limit. We'll get to that eventually, but probably not tonight. And you'll see that there are objects in the top part that you have to hop on. That's a river. So if you fall into the water, you die. And I thought that the logs went up and down, but it looks like actually the turtles go up and down. So maybe I'll just do the logs tonight and save the turtles for another day. Ambar wants me to make a video on coding chess. Someday, Ambar, I will do that. If you become a channel member, I will put higher prioritize that request. So yeah, I think that's fair. So anyway, back to the code. So I want to add a log. Now I've already got the pictures for the log, and so I think that's already in the folder, the shared folder on GitHub. And so I got log full. And just as a reminder, the turtle module only lets you use GIF images, maybe bitmaps, but basically you want to use GIFs, you can't use PNGs, so I had to convert everything. Now I need to see the size of this image. Just for those of you who are wondering, I am using Ubuntu Linux, but this will work on Mac, it'll work on Windows, no problem. So the image is 40 pixels high, and I made every image 40 pixels high, and it's 161 pixels wide. So I got to try to remember that, 40 by 161. So first thing I got to do is register the shape. And I think it was log full.gif. And then I need to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new class for the logs. And I'm just going to copy the car class, because it's going to function mostly like the car. Then you'll see later the turtle will have its own class as well. And I'm going to go ahead and create a couple logs. So I'm going to say log right, and we'll do log left as well. And log left. And again, I know this code is not efficient. It's for testing purposes right now. So I'm making a log. And now I want this to be, I think I used every 50 pixels. So 200, 250, negative 250, negative 200, negative 150, and negative 100. And this should be log right and log left. Okay, so anybody else? And hello, Erica. Hello, Hidden to World. Hey, Sid, no problem. I just got started. I'm just working on my Frogger game from last night. Good afternoon, Vibov. And Erica. Erica, yes, we do. Yes, we do have to go to the math wing tomorrow. Eric, you should probably not mention that we know each other just for your privacy's sake. But it's nice to see you. But I will see you tomorrow. So, yeah. So let me go ahead and run that and see what happens. And it's not going to do anything extra because I did miss a few things. So you can see that they didn't actually appear. So I've created the objects, but just like with the cars, I have to render them. So log left dot render and pen. So I'm just doing the same code over and over. Log right dot render pen. And I also need to update. So this is getting a little bit long. So I'm going to fix that in a little bit because I don't want to do that. Log right dot update. But I do want to see if this works. Hello, Aaron, and hello, Finez again. Yes, and Finez, I would rather you didn't discuss that. Thank you. So there is no shape named log left. Duh. Okay, so it is just what was it called? Log full. So left and right doesn't matter. Log full. Because originally I thought that the logs were going to sync and go up and down, but I think it's just the turtles that do that. So, okay, and so I've got my logs now. I'm going to make the logs go in a different direction though. So log left should go negative 0.1. Actually, let's make the logs a little faster. Let's say the river is going fast. Let's see that. And Bearcat, good. Glad the timing worked out for you, buddy. So you can see here the logs function just like the cars, but the difference is, of course, I'm not checking for collisions with those. Oh, that's interesting. That is something I'm gonna have to deal with. I'll have to figure that one out. Oh, I know what to do about that. Aaron, I have no idea. This is just kind of for practice. So when I click on, when I hit a log, what should happen is the turtle should move with the log. So basically you're hopping on top of the log and it's carrying you down the river to the left or to the right. Okay, so first couple things is you notice how the player was under the log. Okay, so to get around that, I should render the player last. So it'll be on top of anything that was done. So let's test that. So let's go up. Okay, so now you can see that the frog is on that. Now, so what we have to do is we have to search for, we have to do a collision. So if player dot is collision, and we've got log left. I could do or player dot is collision dot log right. And what I want to happen here is the player dot dx equals no, can't do it that way. Gotta do it separately. Yeah, I gotta fix this code. It's really ugly. So what I gotta do is player dot dx equals log dot dx and log left dot dx, and then if player dot is collision log right, player dot dx equals log right dot dx. Okay. Now the thing is, I don't really have any thing for the player. There actually is no player dx or dy because I haven't added that yet. So Sri Devi, hello. Ismail, hello. And Finez, did Erica help with the code bounce function? It's entirely possible. Okay, Bearcat, good. I'm glad that worked out. And Mr. Tech Guy, hello. Always good to see you. Alrighty, so yeah, I was gonna say there are super stickers down below. I think, and maybe I don't know, super chat. I'm not sure. Nobody's ever done it before, so we'll see what happens. And Chen, that's okay. And again, guys, I cannot keep track of the chat and code at the same time. I'm sorry, but I will take a look every once in a while. Hello, Vivek. So let's try this. Oh, actually, no. I got to go back up to the player. Let's see, player. So I guess all of these need a dx. So let's go ahead. Let's do it in the player. What the heck? So the player is going to have a dx. So player.dx, and that's delta x. So when the player is not moving left and right, I'm going to create an update function for the player as well. And that's all it's going to do right now is move the x. So player.x plus equals player.dx. So it's the same as what I did here with update. And this should be actually self because it's in a class. Self. Okay. And then down here, I got to do player.update. Yeah, I said that's getting pretty nasty. All right, let's give it a shot. So error. Name player is not defined in line 54. So let's go up to 54. And again, this is what happens when you talk while you're coding, when you should be coding. So here's self.dx, because it's inside of a class definition. So now what should happen, oops, I don't want to get hit by these cars, is I should be able to hop onto one of these logs. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm still going right. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, and then the frog went off the screen. Okay. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Let me try that again. That was a lot of fun. I forgot. I have two screens, and it always appears on the wrong screen. It annoys me to no end. And thank you, Ismail. All right, so when I hop on a log, but when I hop off of it, it keeps going that direction. Okay, hop on the log, hop off the log. Okay, good. Let's see here. So I got to think about this for a second. And And Vivek likes using Visual Studio Code. A lot of people like using Visual Studio Code. It's a great piece of software. I just choose to use Genie because I like to support free and open source software from companies that are not the enemies of free and open source software. Although I will say Microsoft has done a much better job recently. Okay, so it moves and then it jumps off. And what happens at that point? If it jumps off, if it's not colliding, I know what I can do. Okay, so I think this will do it. Else player.dx equals 0 and else player.dx equals 0. No, that's not going to work either. That's a problem. Sharon, sorry, I am using, it's called Genie, Geany. If I had one log, this would work. Okay, I know what I got to do now. Okay, so I think I know how to fix this, but I got to do some changes here. So, and hello, hi, hello, and hello, Shahryar. And again, I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing people's names. I do not intend to any insult. Let's think here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a list of my objects. Okay, so I'm going to say create list of sprites. Okay, so sprites equals player. For now, car left, car right, log left. Okay, and then what that lets me do is down here for rendering, I can say for sprite in sprites, sprite.render. I can also do sprite.update. Okay, so I don't need to do all that. Okay, let's check that, make sure that works and doesn't screw anything up. I'm making Frogger. Yeah, Jan. Oh, hello, Jan. Sorry. Yeah, I could do that. I'm going to try one slightly different way of doing that. Because if we're looking for collisions, the way this game works, it's only possible to collide with one object at a time. So it's not possible to collide with the, it's not possible to collide with a log and a car. That's just the way the game works. So we can use that kind of to our advantage. So what I'm going to do here is for sprite in sprites. So if player.isCollision sprite. Okay, so if is instance. So I'm going to see, is that a car sprite? So if it's a car, I want to go ahead and go player.x equals 0, player.y equals negative 300. So basically the player, that's what happens when the player dies. Elif is instance log sprite. Then I'm going to do the player.dx equals sprite.dx. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do break. I'm going to put this here as well. Because as I mentioned, you can't have a collision in this particular game with more than one sprite. So what that'll do is it'll just break out, and because once you have one collision, you know that part is over, I think. If that doesn't work, then Jan, I'll come back and do your idea. Let's see here. Boolean value is false. Yeah, coding made easy. I could do the same thing. So you and Jan have the same idea. Yeah, hi, hello. I have no idea to answer that question. Sorry. So let's go ahead and run this. See what happens. Okay, I got some errors. One positional argument required. Okay, we render. We got to use the pen. Duh. Okay. Ugh. Here. Type. Okay, so this is backwards. If it's instance sprite, and if it's a car, and is instance sprite log. Let's try that. Okay. All right, I got a window working. So let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay, so the car collisions still work. That's what we want. And let's see what happens when we hop on a log here. Oops. Oh, nope, that didn't work. All right. Okay, I know what we gotta do. Let's see here. Player is collision sprite. Okay, I know. So say, no, that's not right. So I think what I need to do here is set the player.dx back to 0 every time. And then that should change it back to what's colliding with. Yes. Okay. Oh, there's a problem. Gotta fix that. Okay. Okay. So I have to make sure that the frog is the last thing rendered. So player has to go at the end. So let's get rid of that. And so what I'll do is I'll do that and I'll say sprites.append player. And I may have to fix that later. Hi, hello. Your code is complex but only has 5 objects. Yeah, and I think what I did here works. It may, I don't know if it's the most efficient thing, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just setting it to 0. And again, since you can only collide with one object at a time, if there's a collision, it'll just set it back to sprite dx. So it seems like it works. And hi, hello. The code is complex-ish, but what this lets us do is just code things much, much easier. It's actually, in a way, it looks complex, but it's actually easier to update things, to make things work, and to fix things. It's actually a far, far better way of doing things. So yeah, so there we go. That's basically what I was working on. So if I hop on there, I'm going, okay, and then going. The other thing with this game is if the frog goes off the screen, it dies. Okay, so we need to deal with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the, well, with the border, we have border checking here for the car. So we'll do the same thing with the player. Okay, so in updating, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. So for the player, so everything, so hi, hello, everything for the player is controlled by the player class. So if self x is less than -400 or self.x is greater than 400, basically the player's died. Okay, and so for now what I'm just going to do is I'm going to say player.x equals 0, player.y equals -300, like I had before. Okay. And okay. Finez, how much money do you get now that you have ads? I've had ads on here for about 2 years now. So yeah, I'll talk about it some other day. I don't know if I want to talk about that right now. Wow. Meta classes. I don't think I'm going to do that. Sounds a little complex. So let me go ahead and see if the border checking works for the player. So let's go ahead and take a look. So what should happen is I should hop on here and it goes back to the bottom. Okay, that is what I wanted. And oh, it didn't work to the right. Okay. Less than 400 self X. Why did that not work? Player greater than 400. Okay, hello, take it easy. Yeah, and definitely the frog should die if it's in a space where logs are, but it is not on a log. That's coming later. That's like right now I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, that part I know how to do. Right now I'm trying to figure out all the stuff I don't know how to do. So that is one thing. Now, why did that not work? So, self, duh. I gotta keep remembering that. Let's try that one more time. Okay. And there we go. Maybe 400 is too much because the screen's 600. So it should be probably 300. Let's do 300. We have to change that later, but we'll leave it for that now. And let's see here. Okay, so. And dead. Okay, and try it the other way. And dead. Fantastic. Alrighty. That went a lot faster. Ace, shouldn't the frog be able to go backwards? The frog can already go backwards. The frog can go up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. Okay. That part's working. That was in part one. Let's see here. Where am I at? So, well, I guess the next thing is the turtles. Yeah, I guess it's the turtles. So I guess let's go ahead and do the turtles. This might actually be a good thing for a lot of viewers to watch, just because, what makes the game a game is the images. I mean, I could have done this like with shapes, and it would have been fine. But I think having the images helps you visualize it and kind of makes it look a little bit cooler. So I'll show you what I do. So I'm going to open up a new window, hopefully, somewhere. There we go. And let's see here. I'm going to go to openclipart.org. And I use this website just because it's, as far as I know, everything on here is free. So I'm going to look for a turtle. Okay, we got some cute turtles here. And we want the turtle from the top view. Okay, so let's see if we can find a decent one. We have a few, but I want something that actually looks like a turtle. Oh, that's so cute. Let's see here, turtle. Okay, that's kind of a turtle. We're getting close. It's something like this, but I want it to be green. And again, because it's, there's free stuff here that you can use. As far as I know, this site is not copyrighted. And we do want to respect copyright. And let's see here. We're on to the last page here. This is not a good sign. Bummer. All right, let's go back to the first page. There was one I think I could use. It's not my favorite, but we'll try it. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just use this for now. I'll go ahead and, we'll add some better images later. But if we look back real quick at the game, what it looks like, you can see how the turtles are like 3 in a row and kind of top down. And so let's go back to that. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this image. I'm going to save this into the folder I made for Frogger. And this is called turtle.png. Now I'm going to have to do some work on this to get it to work. Flat icon. Is that a website Cody made easy? I don't know that one. So I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to go and find my turtle. And I'm going to open that, and I use something called Gimp. Now, Gimp is another piece of free and open source software. Okay, so you can see how this is, it's really big. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate the image. So I'm going to rotate, doesn't matter which way. And then I'm going to resize it. So image, scale image. And what I want is I need each image to be 40 pixels high. Width doesn't matter so much, but the height does matter. So this is going to be height 40 and width 50. Okay, now you can see how it's really small. And so it was width 50. So let's say if I add 10 pixels, that's 60. So I need 60 times 3. I need 180 pixels. So I'm going to go ahead and image and canvas skies. And I'm going to disconnect that. I'm going to make this 160. I'm going to resize it. Okay. So you can see now I've got space for more turtles. Okay. Coding Maze is a website you can resize the image. That is fine, but again, you'll hear me talk about all the time, I am a very big proponent of free open source software, and I don't trust websites with anything. Okay, now I've copied and pasted one turtle, and so I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste again. And let's see if I can get that towards the end there. Okay, can I still move this? No. Okay, and then we go ahead and maybe just edit that image size a little bit more. Get that down to maybe 150. See what happens. Ooh, that was too small. Control Z. Okay. Layer image, canvas size. Make it 155. Okay, that's better. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and file and export as. And if you recall earlier, I said we got to use GIF images. So turtle.gif. So I'm going to hit export and export. And actually, I should call that turtle right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and image and transform. I'm going to flip it horizontally. Now I got it going left. So I'm going to say that file, export as, and that's going to be turtle left.gif. Export. And so I'm going to just minimize that for now. So I got turtle left, turtle GIF, and that's turtle right. So file, rename, turtle right.gif. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to go back and basically get this working exactly the same as the log. Because functionally they're very, very similar, but the big difference is that the turtles will go up and down. Okay, so that we got to deal with that. Yeah, so let's just figure out how we can do that. Okay, register shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a list called shapes. And so far we've got frog.gif. We've got car left.gif. We've got car right.gif. We've got log full.gif. Because the left and right log are the same. We've got turtle left.gif. And we've got turtle right.gif. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make this into a loop, just like we've done before. So for shape in shapes, and win.register shape. And just one thing I want to point out, if you notice here, my naming is very, how can I put it? Just very, very consistent. Shape in shapes, sprite in sprites. When you look at the code that I write, there's almost no ambiguity. Like, what does this mean? The only thing is win. I probably should have made that. I actually probably should have called this screen. But I started using win years ago, and so I've kept that bad habit, so I do apologize. Ace cool. This will not be a full Frogger clone. I'm just kind of showing how you would program this type of game. To be honest with you, I'm not that into even playing games, but I do like programming them. I like just kind of playing around with the features and seeing what I can do. So my motivation is more, figuring out how the code works than actually making a full working game. But I do want to see how far I can get with this. Now with the live stuff, I might get bored and just stop doing it. But I think at this point, at least once I get the turtles done, everything should be fairly easy to implement. So that's, like I said, that's kind of when I get bored and I just want to try a different game. But I did love this game as a child, so yeah, I'll play around with this for a little bit. Okay, let's just check and see if that works. Parenthesis does not match, so probably I put a parenthesis instead of a square bracket. Try that again. Okay, so it is working. So I'm going to go ahead and put my turtles up there. And so where did I make the turtles at? There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy, because the turtle is very similar to a log. So I'm going to go ahead and do turtle right. I'm going to do turtle left. And again, keeping my names consistent makes it very, very easy. So the object is turtle left, so I'm going to use turtle left.gif. Okay, and I'm going to make these a little bit kind of in the middle speed-wise. 15. And what I want to do is try this. I'm going to put, so the cars, well, I'll just leave it as it is for now. So that was -100, so this should be -50. And then this one should be 0. It should be right in the middle. Oh, Canvas Creations, you are too kind. I do my best. I don't think I'm particularly good at this, but I do enjoy it. And Al Win, or is that AI Win? Hello. All right, so, and then I need to put this into my list of sprites as well. So turtle right and turtle left. Did I actually make a turtle class? No, I didn't. I have the log class, but I don't have the, yeah, I don't have the turtle class. So the turtle class is going to be a little more complicated because the turtles will move up and down. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Oop, I got to do collisions too. So is instance sprite log break, and I'm going to go ahead and put in collisions for the turtles. Right now, it's not going to be different at all, but later it will. Yeah, I win or L win. You should definitely watch part 1. This is not going to make a lot of sense if you haven't watched that. All right, let's run this sucker. Oh my gosh, there we go. So we've got our turtles. Okay, so log works and turtle works. Excellent. Yeah, this is all working. And then if I do that, yeah, I didn't think about that. It is also the turtle module. Okay, this game is really kind of starting to come together. Now, the thing with the turtle module is that the turtles will sink and the turtles will rise. So if you're on it when it sinks, you die. So that's something we got to deal with. So the first thing I'm going to need is I'm actually going to need to have images for this. So otherwise, we can't really do it. So, oh wait, that's one thing I think I screwed up here. The size of the turtle is a little different, so I'm gonna make sure I get that correct. Properties, image, 155 by 40. Oh, it's the same, almost. So 155 by 40. Okay. Coding made easy. The turtle module does not have an attribute for collisions. It's not made for game making, so yeah. So you have to do your own, and that's why I used the axis align bounding box method here. Works very, very well for squarish objects that are not at an angle. So yeah, I rolled my own, and this is one of those things. When I teach coding, it's what I do for a living. Teach middle school and high school, computer science, some other IT stuff. I think that it's important to learn these things. It's nice that Pygame has a built-in function that does that for you, but the more abstraction you do, the less you actually understand about how things work. So I think it's important to look at this type of code, at least have an understanding of how it works. Yeah, I could do that. That's not a bad idea. The only thing is that I want to use images for 2 reasons. One, I'm already using images, and I think it'll just be easier if I do it that way. And the other thing is, at some point, I may decide to port this to Pygame, in which case I'll have to have the images anyway. Okay. But that is a good suggestion. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, hopefully Coding Made Easy, that answers your question. Okay. So let's go back to our logs, or no, our turtles. And now I am not a particularly talented artist. Anybody who knows me will tell you that. So turtle left and turtle right. So I'm going to go ahead and open that back up with ye old Gimp. Okay, enjoy your lunch, Vibov. And get back to the Gimp. And so zoom in so we can see. And I think what we can do is, let's try this. Transform. I want to scale the image now. Actually, let me try. Let's try this. So I'm just kind of erasing the turtle. Okay, so this is the turtles kind of going underwater. And let's go ahead and make that a little smaller. Sorry, poor turtles losing their heads. So you can see that the turtle is going underwater. I don't know if this is the greatest graphic of all time, but it kind of works. And I think that'll give me what I need. Yeah, Doodle Don, they are pretty cute. Okay, thanks, Coding Made Easy. Glad to hear that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. I'm going to export this as turtle left, call it half. I don't know what else to call it. Export and export. And then I'm going to go ahead and rotate again, transform, flip horizontally. And that's going to be right. So export as turtle right half. Export. Okie dokie. Making progress here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Discard changes. I don't need to worry about that. Okay. So again, I've added some images. So I need to register the shapes. And let's see here. Let's go to the end. And this is going to be turtle half right dot gif and turtle half left dot gif, or was half at the end? I can't remember. Half left, half right. Yeah, that was dumb. Turtle left half, turtle right half. All right. Turtle left, right half. Alrighty. All right, so program's still working. All right, so what we need to do is we need to figure out how to get the turtles to submerge. So first we're going to need a state. And what I mean by that, so log turtle. So I'm going to give the turtle a state. So self.state equals, we'll say full. And then the other options are half and submerged. Okay. So we can change the state. So if it's half, it means it's going down or coming up. If it's full, it's floating. So if it's full or half, we can still stand on it. It'll still carry us. But once it's submerged, it's no longer able to carry us and we die or whatever. Well, in this game we would die. So in our rendering, for the turtle, the rendering method's going to be a little bit different. Well, actually, I'll tell you what, we can just do it in the update. How about that? Let's do it in the update. Update. Let's do it in here. Update image based on state. So if self.state equals full, self.image equals, oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. I gotta keep track of this now. I know. Okay. If state equals full. So if self.dx is greater than 0, that means it's moving to the right. Then we say self.image equals turtle right.gif. Else self.image equals turtle left.gif. Now, elif self.state equals full half. Okay, then we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to copy this. Half, turtle left, half. Okay. Coding, why don't you use Vim for Python development? Because I'm not a masochist. And show. And I win. Your name is Christian, right? That is my name, yes. That's what my parents named me. So full half. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to check this and see if it's still working. Okay, so you can see that the full image is still doing the full image thing. And then I want to try and change them to both to half and see what happens. And we did not get the half image. What did I do wrong? Did I put the sprites in there? I must have put them in there, right? So they're working. Okay. Well, Jason, I haven't gotten this part working yet. So that's really annoying. Self.image. Am I doing the right thing? So class sprite. Self.image, yep. Okay, that's really weird. And hello, Forcon. Now that is annoying. Did I save the wrong thing? I don't think so. Yeah, no, that's right. Forgot to make that the turtle class. So probably some of you have been sitting there just like for 20 minutes like, oh, that's just so annoying. So the turtle is not a log, it is a turtle. And there you can see it is, oh, I really dislike those images now that I see them. I'll fix those some other time. What Shire? What happened to Space Arena? Space Arena is a very complex program, and I'm working on it bit by bit. The other thing is I started it on my other computer, so I want to keep doing it on my other computer. So yeah, it's kind of where we're at. with that one. Oh, let's go here. Let's see if I can still float on the turtles. There we go. So that's still working. So I'm happy with that. Okay, and they kind of push you there, which is fine. Okay, so that's cool. Let's stick with that. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get the turtles to submerge and to reemerge. And I mean, I can use a timer. So, let me think about this for a second. Okay, let's try that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to go import time. Okay, and this should work on any operating system. So what I want to do is start out full. And okay. Self dot, let's see here. Let's say self dot full time. I don't know what else to call it. Equals, let's just say 10. Self dot half time equals, I don't know, let's say 5. And then self dot submerged time equals, let's say it stays submerged for 5 seconds. And then self dot current time equals 0. Okay. Oh God, Jan, I do not want to go advanced. I'm going to keep it simple. Yeah, I've played around with threads, but oh, it's crazy stuff. Welcome back, Vibov, and yeah, I know Vim and what was the other one? Emacs. Those are the two biggies in the open source world. I'm not that crazy. I'll stick with Genie. I like my graphical stuff. So let's see here. Okay, so current time. How am I going to do this? Time. I'm just going to run this and see if that works. Okay, so far so good. Let's see, start time. Okay, start time. Okay, then update. Deal with the timer. Timer stuff. Okay. Basically what I'm going to do. So you can see here, when I start the time, I'm setting it to the current time. It's hard to explain, but time.time gives you the current time. And then, so what I can do is, wow. All right, so we got 3 cases. All right, this is a tough one. I'm going to try and figure this out. Shiar, I did not use Stack Overflow except for the this access align bounding box thing from yesterday. Okay, so if self.state equals full, and time.time minus start time is greater than 10. That state equals equals half. Self dot start time equals time dot time. I don't think that's going to work right. Okay, I got to do a little Googling on that. Take it easy, Noble Savage. And thanks for stopping by. Let us take a look at this. Okay, so Python time module. Time. So control find time dot time. Time dot time. Where's that next? Okay, it returns the time in seconds. This is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. Okay, that confirmed that. Okay, is greater than. Well, full time. Self dot full time. Okay, now I'm just going to copy this because I'm pretty sure this is going to work. If self.state equals half, and time.time self.halftime, self-state equals submerged. Oh, this is problematic. Vibob, yes, Genie is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. That's another reason I use it. At my job, I use Mac because that is what they supply to us. In my personal life, I use Linux, but I know a lot of people use Windows. It's not my thing, but yeah, it's life. Submerged. Okay, so we're gonna have a problem here, but I know how to fix it. And let's see. And I'll show you what that problem is in a bit. And equals submerged and half. And submerged. Okay. If I've coded this right, the turtles will sink after 10 seconds. Well, they'll submerge for they'll go to half for 5. Those 10 seconds full, 5 seconds half, submerged 5. They'll come back to half for 5 seconds, then they'll go back to submerged and just cycle here. So I need to fix that later, but for now, I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'm hoping this works. So 10 seconds. I hope. Okay, it's been about 10 seconds. Ooh, okay. So should we go 5 seconds? Oh, actually, I know there's a problem. I don't actually have a submerged image. Oops. State equals submerged. Okay, so I need to go back to my folder and desktop, and I'm overdoing it a little bit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up with the Gimp again. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and delete everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the eraser tool. Because I just basically want an image the same size. I don't actually need to do it this way, but it just makes the coding more consistent and I think easier to understand. So I'm going to go ahead and say file, save as, turtle, oops, cancel, file, export as, yeah, turtle submerged. So it's just a blank image. Export. Okay. Again, I didn't need to do it this way, but I think it's going to work pretty well. And then I need to go back to my turtle. Copy. Yeah, let me leave that space in there. state equals submerged. And again, I don't need the dx thing anymore because left and right is the same. Equals turtle submerged. Again, also just so you know, or just to point out, again, all of my names are very, very consistent. So it's fairly simple to figure out what my code should be doing. Okay, so let's try this and see if it submerges. Okay, we're going to get an error because I did not register the shape. So I'm going to go ahead over here and comma turtle dot submerged dot gif. Okay, let's go ahead and run that sucker. Okay, and after 10 seconds, they should submerge. Okay, and then 5 seconds after that, they should submerge. They're gone, and in 5 seconds, they should return to half. Okay, there's half and submerge. So they're cycling between. Yeah, there's still a bit of color on that submerged image. Yeah, I'll get to that later. I'm not a big graphics guy, but yeah, I don't like that either. But I'm just trying to, do the I don't know how you put it, just proving a point, I suppose. But yeah, I will fix that someday. All right, so it's working except for one thing. When I get to half, and then when I get to half, it goes to submerge. Submerged goes back to half. Half goes back to submerged. So what I got to do is I got to have two half states. So one's going to be half down, and the other one's going to be half up. Okay, and by half down, I mean it's on its way down. By half up, I mean it's on its way up. Okay, so down, half down, half up. Yeah, there's got to be an easier way to code this, but this is pretty clear. And full. Okay, so let me just, and then equals half up or state self dot state equals half down. So whether it's half up or half down, I'm going to be using the same GIF. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Okay, so let's watch this sucker. It should go down. And now it should come up, go submerge for 5 seconds. And it should go back. And then it should go full. Yes. And then it should go down. Down. And then it should go submerged. Fantastic. Now the only thing is, what should happen, okay, it's full. That's fun. So now that it's half, I should be able to ride, but once it goes submerged, it should stop. So the collision should not work if it's submerged. So I got to fix that. And to do that, it's pretty easy. So if it's a turtle and sprite dot state does not equal submerged. So if it's not submerged, this will happen. But if it is submerged, if it's not submerged, we have a collision. Okay, so that's the check. So let's go ahead and fix that or test it. Okay, so once it goes submerged, it should stop. Okay, I don't know if you caught that, but it worked. Okay, so let's play around with that. Okay, now it's coming up. And it'll go full. And, okay, it should submerge. Okay, now once it submerges, the turtle should stop. The frog should stop. Yes. Okay, it is working. I am very happy with this. Now again, I understand it's not a full game, but I have most of the elements of this game in place. Let me show you real quick the game again, what it looks like. So if you look there, you see at the bottom, there's a row of like purple grass. I don't know, it's where the turtle can chill. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of cars. So I have to update that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of turtles and logs. Now notice some of the turtles are just 2 turtles. Some of them are 3. That's an easy fix. And then there's spaces at the top where it kind of, how can I put it? There's spaces at the top where the turtle is going to go. And if the turtle reaches one of those spots, you know, it's home. So you got to fill all 5 of those so you can go to the next level, where I think things speed up and the turtles, you know, sink faster and spend more time underwater. So it becomes a bit more challenging. Yeah. So far, I'm pretty happy with this. I think all of the elements of the game are there. All the stuff that I didn't know how to do, I now know how to do. So the hardest thing was getting the log to work, where the turtle or where the frog, if it's on the log, it goes, and if it's off the log, it isn't. And as Jan mentioned, when you're in this section, getting off of the turtle and getting off of a log should kill you. But right now I don't have enough objects to make that work. So I'll have to set up some things. Also, you notice how the turtles are on the same timer, so we need to fix that as well. So that's not hard. That's an easy fix. And also, as Jan mentioned, the graphics aren't the greatest, especially for this. I think they look good here, but the syncing, they don't look that great. So I need to get some more different car types. I need to, you know, maybe make it a little bit bigger. There's a couple things to make the game, but right now, everything is, all the basic game elements are there. And this is one of those things like where I talk to my students all the time about this is, you know, they don't really know where to begin. They don't know how to do their programs. And what I usually tell them to do is that they need to start with what they don't know. So in my case, you know, I mean, I know how to move a turtle around or move an object around, but I knew how to do this. I sort of had an idea about the collisions, the axis aligned bounding box. But tonight, of course, I didn't know how to do the log. And then you saw that earlier. And then the log is a little bit simpler than the turtle. The turtles then sink and rise. Okay, so I had to figure out how to do that. And this is one of the first few times. I don't really use timers a lot in my code. But what I did was, for the turtle, I set the amount of time it's going to be full, the amount of time it's going to be half. And in different levels, these numbers would be different. Or some turtles could have a different range. So for example, I could also use the random method here. Let's go ahead and do that. That's probably a fun idea. So import random. And if I go down to here, I could say random.randint. Let's do it from 8 to 12. And then random.randint. That was 5, so let's do 4 to 6. So this way we don't know, you know, how long it's going to stay submerged, how long it's going to stay up. And this will give us a little bit more variation in our game. So let's run that and see what that looks like. So now we should see that these guys are going to switch at different times. Okay, so you see how that one started sinking, and now that one's sinking, that one's gone, and staying submerged for a while. Okay, that one's back. Now this one's back. So you can so you can see how now they're on different times, which is pretty cool. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this works until it gets submerged. Okay, cars kill you, but logs, you're allowed to ride logs. Again, like Jan mentioned, I'll do that in a future lesson once I get kind of level set up a little bit better. Okay, so that is that. So I will put this into the GitHub repository. So now I'll just put this on top of the other one. And you can, if you want to see the previous versions, you can just go ahead and look at the Git history and download that if you want. And hello, COVID. And yeah, I think that's about it. So are there any questions? Yeah, it starts. Yeah, it was an hour, 10 minutes, and 29 seconds. So let me just put the chat up here. And so, yeah, does anybody have any last minute questions before I sign off tonight? Oh, yeah, by the way, Zeth, I'm sorry, I do not know the answer to your question. Okay, I don't see any questions. Going once. Going twice. Going 2.5 times. Alwyn wants me to turn off slow mode. Nope. Actually, I guess maybe. Yeah, I guess I could do that now because I'm not coding anymore. Let me see if I can figure that out. Hang on a second. Live chat. Participants. I actually don't know how to do that right now. Jan, do I plan to finish the game? I definitely plan on coming back and at least getting a simple level working. I do want this one to be fairly complete, but I've done most of the stuff that I need. Hi, Erica. And let me see if I can figure out how to turn off the slow thing. If anybody knows which buttons to push, let me know. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. Manage. Yeah, I think because I've already set slow chat, I can't do that. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to turn off slow mode. Unfortunately. It's kind of annoying. I'd like to be able to turn it off now, but I cannot. So yeah, we'll have to chalk that up to experience. I'll figure that out someday if it's possible. Yeah. So get back to OBS. Okay, so back to the main screen. Again, so like I said, I'll put this up in there. Again, thanks very much to Kevin, Paul, and Jan, who is on the chat with us tonight. I very much appreciate Jan being a member. And yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Much appreciated. Everybody else, if you're able to, please do feel free to join down below and support the channel. I'm trying to make more content, especially in support of members, as my very busy schedule permits. So yeah, otherwise, I guess everyone have a good evening, day, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are at. And hopefully, a couple days I can come back for live session number 3. Okay. Take care, and as I like to say, keep on coding. Ciao.